Good evening and welcome to Letter from the Light Side on the 18th of March 2021. My name is Annie Conboy and I'm a medium and psychic, and I'm hoping that my guides and inspirers will join us and will give us some heads up, some information about the energy that we're working with at the moment and the energy that's coming in through the next week or so, in order to help us to make the best choices we can. Sorry, they're itching my nose already. I know it's Rafe, he's trying to get me to laugh. Oh. So, if you haven't watched Letters from the Light Side before, let me make you aware that I'm live on Facebook and I'm also live streaming on YouTube on my channel, which has been a step forward for me this year, and something that was a little bit scary because of the technology side, but seems to have worked itself out. Fingers crossed. The purpose of the Letters from the Light Side started about 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, when my guides encouraged me to start talking to people about the fact that we are energy, that first and foremost we are energy, we vibrate, and that even if we can't sense that vibration, our aura, our intuitive part of us can sense that vibration. And since we live in an ocean of energy and it's a whole universal flow of energy, that we could start to pay attention to our own energy and the energy around us. And that would help us to see what the leading energy was, what was coming in the energy. And they wanted this information out there, and people having an awareness of energy, so that when things happened, we didn't just go, oh, whoa, or we didn't go, oh, life's a challenge. We had some insight that would help us to maybe get through. And Rafe, who works with me now, came in at that time to help me with the broadcasts. So he's always delighted to see people's names popping up, whether you're watching live or see your comments when you're watching on catch up. I know that this goes out to a much wider audience, and I thank everybody who passes the information on and passes the broadcast along so that others can share it, because it is important for all of us to recognise the influence that energy can actually have on us, other people's energy, the energies of the planet, the energies of humanity, and the energies in the universe, because we have in this universe so many wonderful high vibrational beings trying to encourage us to interact with them, so that the purpose is that they can support us and give us positive energy while we're actually making our journey through this ascension process. The ascension process is us learning to automatically lighten our energy, helping us to deal with life on a different level. It doesn't mean being perfectly positive all the time. What it means is acknowledging that we are as much influenced by the energy around us as by the energy within, and finding our own guides and inspirers to help us to make a more balanced opportunity in our life. So I feel like I need to explain this tonight, because we have been for certainly the past 2 years in very turbulent energy. We shifted quite dramatically in 2012, just into 2013 actually, and ever since, we've been trying to balance the energy, to settle things out. So you might have found that your life took a different turn around 2012, 2013. And where you thought you were going isn't where you've necessarily ended up. And that things that were in your life sorry, it's tickling my neck now, things that were in your life around then kind of have shifted so that it's a very different where you are now than you thought, because you thought you'd bring all those things with you. And we're about to have another big sort of jump forward this year with the energy that's around. We did a lot of preparation last year. A lot of inner work's been done so that we can start doing the outer work. Hence, for me, doing more YouTube stuff, more teaching, and going in a different direction than I thought with my art. So these shifts that are going on are the consequence of the energies that you've been dealing with and the energy balance that you're now reaching. And whether it seems like it or not, the world is coming to an energy balance. We've got a balance point to find, a positive point of unity, being a global community of spirit and linking that to being a global community of humanity. Recognizing that we're not different, recognizing that we are the parts of a whole. There's a sorry, I'm just smiling because I'm getting the Christ energy coming through to me. So I know that we've got an ascended master with us tonight. One of the things about the Christ energy is it brings that appreciation of unity. We've had to see how divided we are in order to start seeing where we need to unify, where we need to bring ourselves together, to see the whole spectrum of viewpoints, and to understand that a lot of what we're doing is based on assumption. We assume, we listen to what people say, and we've got a whole set of assumptions interpreting what people say. And one of the things that's really important to understand about energy is the energy never lies. The energy is what it is. So whatever somebody says, if it's not in their energy, then they don't mean what they say. And we're learning that on a long, slow curve, so to speak. And so this week, you may have found yourself feeling like, I just want the truth. I just want it, the straightforward, open, honest truth, because then I can deal with it. Sorry, I'm smiling because Archangel Archeliel, one of the Earth's guardian angels, has stepped in just now to link with this lovely blast of Christ energy. The idea that if we are unconditionally loving as much as we can be, then we can move the human situation forward. But it starts with recognizing where we are assuming and recognizing maybe what we take for granted, recognizing that we've let ourselves be split inside, so and to become out of touch with the guidance, with those higher beings who want to help us and give us a lovely push forward, and that we've not kind of been paying enough attention in a way. We've been very distracted. Now, sometimes we have to be distracted in order to turn our gaze back to somewhere and go, oh, I hadn't realised that. And so over the next week, there's going to be light bulb moments, realisations where you've made assumptions and perhaps they haven't panned out the way that you assumed. This week, you may also have noticed still some very tangled dreams, vivid tangled dreams. It's a clearing process that's going on. It isn't anything to get anxious about, but you might find that you're a little bit, because you haven't had enough refreshing sleep. I'm getting about 3 nights of tangled dreams, a night of deep sleep, back to 3 nights of tangled dreams. And I know that this is a clearing process, and that's the cycle of clearing that we're on, much like a biorhythm. We're doing this clearing in a cycle. So it's always worth checking out what cycle you're on, how often your dreams become vivid, how your sleeplessness might go. Taking notice of the points in the day when you feel wide awake and buzzing, and the points when you feel exhausted, because what they are continuing to do for all of us is send in the positive energy. And it comes in as kind of like downloads. I always smile, and it's a bit like upgrading the computer. Some upgrades are tiny and they pass without notice. Some are really heavy and you can go, oh, because your whole system sort of goes, oh, it's too much energy. Now, we are having regular upgrades. Rafe has been talking to me about this week particularly. We've had 2 really significant upgrades. One was on Tuesday, the other one was yesterday. So you might have had a couple of days of restless. You might have had a couple of days of, as I said, sort of, I just want it straight. I just, don't mess with me. Just tell me straight. And and it's about clearing away the fog that's around us. You might also have noticed an urge to spring clean. I'm laughing because I've spent the whole week going through old papers aplenty, bills from 10 years ago, and been thinking, what am I doing? And clearing it all out. So for those of us who are a little bit like hoarders, there's been a big push to get you to look at where the stuck energy is. For those of you who've got everything in order, you might have been doing it on an inner level, just working on what's stuck inside, what still hasn't cleared, what am I still hanging on to. And you might also have felt as if there is clarity, but it's almost as if it's just out of reach. Those few moments, only it's lasted a week, of I've almost got it. I almost know what's next, and it hasn't come in. And it's like try to hold the frustration at bay, because it will. You may also have felt with the upgrade yesterday a little bit of headachy. It's come into third eye. The energy was being placed in third eye, which is our clairvoyance, our ability to see energy and to see spirits and other non-physical beings. So there's been a bit of sort of polishing and dusting of that particular chakra, because the guides remind me time and again, seeing is believing. They know I'm such a doubting Thomas at times. I question everything. They're happy that I doubt things because they like me to go into the research and find out and decide for myself. That's what doubt is about, deciding for yourself. But they also want to make sure I'm seeing it clearly. So they'll send me random bits and pieces of information to prompt me to think. And I think for me, this week has very much been about weighing things up and going, well, somebody says this, somebody else says that. And if you think about what's been going on as a general debate about whether we can trust this, or whether that's correct science, or whether that's a better way to go. I mean, we've been in this debate for 12 months with COVID about which is the best way to go. We've been in this debate for 50 years about women's safety, women's rights, women's place in the world. We've been in this debate for endless years about how we unify rather than divide. And for one, I don't want another war to make us all unify. I really don't want that. But that seemed to be how we did it not so long ago, really, in terms of human existence on this planet. So the guides are bringing us the questions this week. They're asking us to look behind and see if we can get a better sense of the picture and make our decisions based on things that satisfy us. Everybody makes their own decision, absolutely, that's what it's about, but making the best decision that you can with as much information as you can, so that you can embrace these energies, these flows of energy, and you can gather positivity from them. So clear-sightedness, that's why we have the third eye being twitched, to make us aware of the energies that are going on. And it's going to continue. We've still got another 10 days, Rafe says, of this kind of third eye clarity, really seeing the energy, really getting behind the energy front, if you like. So be comfortable with, you are going to uncover information that maybe you didn't have before. And when we do that, it's not about going, oh my goodness, I got it wrong, or oh my goodness, I need to do this or that. It's about weighing it in the balance. And some things we can't do anything about. They're in the past. It's about going forward with more information to take better decisions. Particularly, and this is really important, because part of this ascension is about everybody becoming aware that they are intuitive. I've said it for years. I even wrote about it in my book. I believe everybody is intuitive. All the evidence I've ever been shown or given from spirit and my guides has brought me to that conclusion. Now I know not everybody has that point of view, but that's fine. You know, I've done my research, they do their research. But in general, through the ascension process, this recognition of our intuitive side is coming forward, and we are becoming more tuned into each other through energy than through surface chit and chat. And interestingly, COVID's given us the excuse to step away from people and have to connect and communicate in different ways. It might not have been the way we would have chosen to do it. It certainly might have, it's had its own complications, but it's to help us to understand that if we are aware of the energy connection, then we can relate to people in different ways. So in the next 10 days, just be aware that you might be picking up other people's feelings, other people's thoughts. You might be aware that they've got something on their mind, or you might become aware that maybe they're not telling you what the whole picture is. And it's about recognizing your own intuition and working with that and following that gut feeling that I just know somehow, and not worrying how you know. That's the hurdle to get over. Not worrying how you know, but trusting that you do know, and then making any decision based on what's intuitively been given, that feeling, so that your life moves forward in the best way it can. I am being asked to alert you that Sunday afternoon, evening and night, there is a flow of heavy energy coming in. It's a release of fear that needs to happen. It's kind of a deeper fear that's hidden behind our human perception at the moment. We haven't wanted to look at this fear. This is a fear that's arisen out of our experiences with Atlantis and the destruction of Atlantis, and we are still on working to clear that energy. Lots and lots of healing work going on, lots of really good stuff going forward in all sorts of traditions in order to clear that Atlantean energy. So it's coming to the surface. So for about 8-9 hours, Rafe says, from Sunday 1 p.m, you might feel like somebody's sort of hit you over the head with a big pillow and just drained your energy. Try to look after yourself. Be protective about yourself. That's not the time to get into any debates. It's not the time to wonder what on earth do I do next. It's not the time to kind of get yourself in a worry or a fret about anything. It's a kind of time for stepping back from the world for those few hours and just saying, you know what it is, let everything go on as it's meant to go on. Right now, I'm looking after me. That emphasis on looking after you is another little trickle of energy through the week, making sure that you are resting, eating well, looking after your emotional health and well-being. And just be aware that when we look after ourselves, it creates a good flow of energy, and that good flow of energy spreads to everybody we care for. So one of the best things you can do if you are concerned about anybody who seems to be in a bit of a dip or a bit of a rut, get yourself into that looking after you energy, and it will spread. Trust me, the energy does spread, and it may help them to lift themselves. Ask your own guides. That's how I started out, just asking in my head questions. And I have to say, I didn't believe all of the answers that I got. I didn't, at times I thought, I'm just talking to myself. What am I on about here? But over time, the answers that I got did actually help and made it easier to deal with situations that were very tough in my life. I got the support to do what I needed to do to help me, and therefore to be well and fit and able to help all the people I love and care about. So it's really important to remember to look after you as much as look after anybody else. I know we all put our love into everybody else and not into ourselves, but this energy exchange, this balance, this beautiful Christ consciousness, the lesson that Christ brought was about love, unconditional love, about unity, not division, understanding that we'd been distracted by the material things and by the ideas of money and power and wealth, and we'd gone into greed, and just reminding us that the way to be was to be able to look at our fellow humans and see the sameness we shared, not see the difference. So that lovely energy can help you when you're navigating next week's energy. If you can stay focused on finding the spirit in somebody, seeing that we're not different. What all human beings want is they want shelter, nourishment, care, warmth, but most of all, connection, a loving connection to someone or something to make life feel like it's worth living. So when you think about your energy, try to encourage yourself to connect with the people who are around you energetically in a positive way, and connect with things that encourage you to feel, yeah, I'm doing okay. Life is okay. Might not be brilliant, might not be what I expected back in 2012 or when I was 10, but yeah, I'm getting there. And be aware that getting there is the point of this year. We've had a lot of change. Getting there this year is actually what we're being pushed by our Shelley's action energy to do. to do those tidying ups of loose ends now, so that we don't have anything to drag with us as we move into a positive future. There's a real lift as we get to the end of March. It's been a blustery, turbulent, whirlwindy March. He talked about one of the, I think it was the Teal, I forget. I don't remember the messages they give me. So this has been a whirlwind, little mini hurricanes going off. We've still got 2 weeks or so of that, just under. And so it's about look after you, batten down the hatches in a sense, just stay grounded and stay within yourself in a joyful way, knowing that we're on a track that's taking us to a better future. We just can't see that future yet. And I know I say that. I say to Rafe sometimes, you can't make me say that again. Really, I've said that 25 times, or in 4 years, a lot more than 24 times. And he'll laugh and he'll say, yeah, but that's the message I'm giving you. You have to say it. And I'll go, well, I don't know if I want to say it. And he'll laugh and he'll say, just because you're not feeling it right now, Annie, doesn't mean you won't be feeling it in half an hour when we start the broadcast, or in 3 days' time. So, above all else, hold on to the help that's there. Hold on to all of the positive forces that are flowing. Even though the energy is turbulent, there is an awful lot of love going around in this world, an enormous amount. More than we could ever imagine, unless we switch on our clairvoyance or our clairsentience, unless we recognise our intuition. Then we know that we've got all the love we could ever desire, because it's right here with us, right here in our guides and our inspirers, in the archangels, in the ascended masters, in the people we love and care about, in the greater whole of humanity. There are bad actors. There are people who've stepped away from the path of love. There are people who have got lost in the negative. That doesn't mean they have to stay there. That doesn't mean that things can't change. That just as they went in one direction, they might turn off and go in another direction, a more positive direction. And that's where we have the hope. I love working with Christ consciousness energy, because for me it always reminds me that the messages from Sananda in that lifetime were about trying to encourage us to hope for humanity, to hope and hold that light of hope, because if we did, we would grow more light. We'd send more love around the world. So let's do it. Let's commit to sending more love around the world. I know that that's what they bring in these channeled messages, the energy vibration of love. And I hope that you can feel some of these energies, or sense in some way, or see in some way the energies that are here in the room with me tonight and are coming through our link. That you can receive some of that inner warmth, that inner comfort, and it will help you as you go through the coming week to just stay level, to stay calm and clear and determined. There is a better future for all of us, the more of us do that. Quite hot, so I'm just going to pass this out. I'm just getting more blasts of energy, so I'm just going to pass this out. And if you've connected with the video, I do hope you've had a little dose of this beautiful energy. It comes with their love. It comes with my love. Have a good week. Have a positive week. No matter what the energy is doing, stay afloat and help those around you to stay afloat too by showing them how to put on their life belt. So make sure you've put your life belt on first. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye.